test burn today. We've got the crucible inside on top of a flint that we made out of it was made out of our first mix that we used. Not very good. Probably won't last more than one try. I had made two of them. The first one fell apart in the first test. That's the stuff that we used in the lid and in the base. This is the fire clay, sand, vermiculite, and Portland cement, and it literally, after one burn, fell apart. So makes me a little nervous about the lid falling apart, but we'll let it go. And of course, the base of this is also made of that same stuff, but there's a refractory cement covering all that, a professional refractory cement. So got my burner working last week, little carbon felt. Protects fire from coming back out, although I didn't have any of that experience where it came back out last week. We're just using the air drawn from the propane through the back here, circling around. We're going to try and see if we can get this to come to heat and how long it takes. It is about 100 degrees out today, so shouldn't take too long to come to heat. We're not going to melt very much aluminum. The last time I used my old furnace, the furnace burnt out as I was burning. The crucible burnt out, I should say, and that was what was left in the bottom of the crucible before it finished burning. It hadn't actually finished. Just different parts of aluminum that were melting. They were at the stage of melting, and it started leaking. I don't remember where, somewhere out one of the sides of the crucible. Okay, so I was getting a little ahead of myself. I forgot one thing that I needed to do. I got these in here where I can pop them in or out. And that's great for lifting. And then popping them in for a while, flame going around it. I may lock them out. Either way, I could grab it from the inside or the outside. But what I forgot was I don't have a pour hook on here on either side. So just lifting this doesn't do me much good for pouring. So I need to weld on or tack on a pour hook here, which is what I'm going to do first before I melt my aluminum. Alright, so I took that U-bolt that I had. I don't know if I showed that to you or not, but I cut off the threads of the U-bolt. It's still hot in the burner. I'm going to burn myself. And I'm going to weld this right here. Got to be careful I don't damage the pot, so I'll get a few tack welds in there and get it going slow. Heat it up nice and slow. Oh man, grinding away. We'll see what we get. Well, I beat on it some, I smashed on it some, did all kinds of fun stuff to it, and it didn't pop. So I'm going to say it's good for now. And no penetration completely through. That's a good thing, because I really didn't want it to penetrate completely through, because then I just have to fill a hole. But it's a lot of weld for that little bit of a attachment. The only reason I put so much on there is because heat rolling around it. I didn't know how it would react with a small weld, so I overdid it, which may not have been the right answer, but it's what I did. So we're going to get ready to fire it up and get it going here. I'm running. I've been running for a little while though. I noticed that if I close the lid, I get a
bunch of gas inside the crucible, which then blows up the top, and I get this big popping sound. I only have about 2 or 3 fingers above the crucible, so I think the unspent gas, propane gas, that's not burning off, is falling back down into the crucible, and building up, and then blowing out the top. Alright, now that it's reached a red hot inside on the steel, I've been able to close a little better. I still haven't completely, it's hot now, I still haven't completely encompassed it because it seems like when I cross over the top of that crucible, it doesn't let the gases from the crucible escape into there. They roll over and go into the crucible instead of rolling out the top. So, be down in here, but I'll show you. Yeah, it's glowing red. But that's about it, really. Getting a lot of these exhaust gases burning off after it comes out the top. Every once in a while it goes out and I have to get the lighter out. Relight it up like this. Alright, we removed all our dross. We're going to start a pour here. Wake up. It's all melted down. Get the flame down real low here. I'm going to turn it off now. Definitely need to lock these bolts in. They're a little wobbly. You ready? Yeah. Okay. So. If it comes loose, just let me know. Okay. Here we go. Down close, down close. There you go. Thanks. You can move the camera to it. Yep. Go. That's all the way. Right. You need a grip on it. Got it? You can flop. Cool. Alright, there they go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 muffins. That's it. Alright, we're going to flip these muffins in about 10 minutes. You gotta find somebody who can use a wrench first. Alright. Start the hole right there. Oh, this is scary. Now I know what'll come out. These are melting right there. If I can use scissors. Hand me that one right there. Work? Oh! Hi. America.